Welcome to the Freud's Angels weekly reading, bringing the collective guidance and understanding for this week's energy.
Remember, never give your power up to a reader or a reading. You always have the power of autonomy. Hey, angels, welcome to your weekly reading. We're reading from February 22nd through the 28th, the last week of February, y'all. Like, really? Not happening, but okay. I'm here for it. I have some fun things planned this year, so I'm like, okay, we're moving through, we're getting into March. So yeah, there's a couple of big things, but let's just do the cards first and we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
So Vanessa, what is your mermaids telling us this week?
It's very funny because I'm not going to give away, because I pulled, for this weekend, next week, I'm not going to give it away, but the cards look very similar, which is very, very, very interesting. But this week, the card is the Dive Deep card.
Oh, very nice.
For some of us, we don't have a choice. Yeah, I feel like I've been forced into the depths, but this card has like a lot of these cards I've noticed, they have a fish, kind of chasing orbs. There's fish chasing orbs a lot. And I focused on that, but before I even focused on the mermaid here. And to me, it's kind of like those little gems that are in the darkness that we can only find in the darkness. And that's where the dive deep thing comes in, is like, in the depths, we find the thing. And I'm calling them gems. But when we're doing emotional work, sometimes they don't seem like gems. They're gems when you heal them because of what they bring you to. But at the time, they feel like extreme wounds sometimes, or things we've been avoiding for quite some time. And so I feel like that card is coming out for a couple different reasons. I feel like because we're doing a reading for the collective, I cannot express how much I feel like this is about people turning away from what they've been led to and digging into what they actually are and believe. Because we're in a time right now. We're in a time where there's a lot of messaging, and messaging typically has a goal. And that goal is to have you believe that messaging, whatever that messaging is. And I've been having a lot of talks lately with people about about all this stuff, but not on the level of like that a lot of people are talking. It's more on the, oh God, what do we need? What do we need? What do you think people need? How do you think that people need to feel right now? What do you think that people's fear is that's creating this A, B, or C? So that's that diving deep work, right? Like, is being able to get to the point, get to the root, get to the part that really needs to be healed, and stop looking at all of the things on the surface, because those are not the gems. They are not the things that are going to create change. They are not the things that are going to create internal change. I have a lot of clients that, not a lot of clients, but I have a few clients that we have to have the talk about, when does performance stay performance and when does it become internalization, right? Because if I'm doing something, because if I'm doing behavior modification because I think that behavior isn't great, that's okay, because we're going to have to do that at the beginning of anything, right? Because it's going to go against what we believe and what we've been doing. But if we are performing that new behavior in order to get something, or in order to, maintain something, and it doesn't actually become an internal shift because you don't actually feel what that root is, you're going to perform forever. It's never going to be internalized as part of you. And I feel like that's some of what this is saying, is like, are you performing? What does a performance look like? It often looks like regurgitating information. It often looks like participating in things that are not actually helpful, for lack of a better way to say that, right? And being able to kind of pull back and just dig in. What do I think that people need right now? What do I need right now? What soothes this? Not from a surface level behavior, what other people need to do or what other people need to create, but me. What is the fear? Is the fear that I am going to be abandoned? Is the fear that I am going to be without? like what's going on, and going from there and creating from there, creating and nurturing relationships or endeavors or things like that bring us to there, because people forget that individuality is the best way to start anything, right? Like we love to just yell at groups, and we're just like, yeah, but what am I doing today? What am I doing that is adding to the gem part of it? Where am I in here with my gems, or am I just splashing on the surface with all the shit floating up there? So yeah, whatever that was, I'm done with it.
Amazing. That was amazing. And so let's take that theme into how do you do something with it? And so our surrender card is surrender to our intuition, tune into your inner voice and be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Okay. I'm gonna give you the numerology card right away before I do my little spiel. So our numerology card is number 78. Who has 78, Vanessa?
That's my birth year. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. That was all about me. There's no hockey number because it's 78 equals me every time. Yeah.
Vanessa. And so I always want to find out what sports player has 78, because
usually it is a sports player, but today it's me. 78 is me.
So our numerology card is number 78, and is the spiritual career. It says this card indicates an opportunity to embark upon a career in the mind, body, spirit arena. This could be full or part-time venture. It's entirely up to you. You may already have credentials to begin this work now, or you may require further study before you're ready to start. Whatever your situation, this card is confirming that you have genuine talents and abilities that need to be put to good use. So, I think we're in Pisces season. I mean, this is classic Pisces, like Piscean energy here, like the intuition, being an astrologer, a clairvoyant, a healer. Like this is very Piscean. So it's not really surprising that it all comes up. But I think too is that, the connection that Vanessa, all that wisdom Vanessa was sharing, and the connection to the idea of a spiritual career, it leads me to that thing that I always say, is that at some point when our woundings become gems, they become what we share with the world, the insight, the understanding, what healing came from it. We share this with others. We open our capacity for compassion and empathy by our own life experiences. And so the people in this world that suffer similarly, different because their life is different, but of a similar thing, will always find us, because we're the ones that have walked through the fire to get to the other side, right? We've dove deep and found all the things that we need to do, and the wisdom we have gained is what we share with others. And that is basically, I think, what a healer is. I mean, I don't like the term healer, but it's lack of better word. I really think that that's what that is we take what we have experienced and we bring it to others to help them on their path, whether they use it in the same way or whether it's not something that connects with them, but they will always find us because they will always need the wisdom that we have just learned. And that is why there's room for everybody as far as in that sense. There is no exclusive, like I am better than this person, or I have done this more studying. I don't want to know what you have studied. I want to know what you have lived.
Yeah.
What have you healed? What have you lived? What is your background, and what are your credentials? But I care more about the work you have done than what you've studied. I want both.
Yeah. I got a little hung up on the word career, and that's why I just closed my eyes, because I was just like, does career literally the question that came through was, does career always mean money? And I was like, oh my God. Like I just kind of sat with that for a second, because a lot of people might hear this and then dismiss it because they don't want a career. in spiritual whatever, but like, what is a career to a soul versus a human 3D on this earth is going to be completely different if you actually think about that. So if everybody really does this work, then the work that we're doing, the career part of it, is exactly what you just said, is the sharing, is the talking, is the experiencing, is the, connectivity that comes from just like, hey, I've realized this about myself lately, or I've realized this about what I'm, whatever, and just kind of having conversations that are more spiritually based, meaning like going into our roots and, our hearts and our souls, and letting that do the work. Right. And that doesn't necessarily have to be you get paid for it. It has to be that you're authentically reaching into your intuition and sharing. Like, it's simplicity that we complicate as humans. And that's what, like, some people do. I mean, obviously, I created a 3D career out of it. I wanted to. It fit for me. I was asked yesterday, if you had money but you still had to do a job, would you do your job? I was like, 100%. I'd do it exactly the way that I'm doing it because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And right now that's the way that it is. Right. But like, I only got there from doing that work of digging down and saying like, man, who are you really? Not who does everybody need you to be, not who were you taught to be. Who are you really? What feels like the core of you that just, God, it's like feels good. And then talk about it with other people and help people get to that space, because then they'll do it too, right? Like, and then I talk to them about the ripple effect. Your healing heals other people in one way or another, right? Like, sometimes through trigger, sometimes just through softness. But yeah, I love this. I love this for the collective, because I really think that's the lesson that most people need to learn, is that this is not for the spiritual people only.
Yeah.
Talk.
And I think, and as you were saying, career too, I've fallen under the misguidance of needing to quit my job and do this full time when my nervous system wasn't ready to do that. Like, and so I put pressure on it, and then it takes away from the enjoyment and the soul connection I have to the work. And also separating the idea of being obsessed about what I'm creating and what I'm doing to make money, right? It's I am comfortable in the space where I'm reaching outside my comfort zone. I am expanding the limits of my nervous system, and I am doing things that I was always afraid to do, even though I'm still afraid. But I have enough internal support and trust that as I'm expanding my boundaries of my nervous system, that I'm going to be okay, and I'm creating space to do this more and more, which is what I really love to do. And but not from the space of, and this needs to make me money, from the space of, this is where I feel the best. This is where I feel like I'm serving and putting the energy and the knowledge and wisdom and intuitive sense of what I know the best, and this is what I want to do. And that has helped me understand, like Vanessa said, the idea of like separating the career from the career idea as a job versus a calling. And
that's the word. I couldn't think of any other word. And that felt good.
Yeah. And, and the conversation always happens when some of us get into doing this type of, service, is that we struggle with being paid for it. And I've had time to wrap myself around that and to understand the value that I bring and understand the wisdom and seeing it in that frame. And so it's afforded me the time to understand how to take away the pressure of needing to make money and needing to do it the way everybody tells me I should do it, and doing it in a way that my nervous system's on board, my parts are on board, I'm on board, and everything feels good, right? And, I was in class the other day, I said, I am the most unmarketable person. I said, not because any other reason other than I will never guarantee you a timeline. Right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
In class, when you're selling classes or courses or whatever, they always say, in 90 days, I will give you blah, 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 and I will give you this, this, and this, and I will do this, and I will do that. And like, there's all these setting setting the client up to feel like they failed if they haven't achieved what they promised would happen. And so as I was sharing and teaching in class, I was like, I will never guarantee where you will be because you are in your own individual space. I don't know what that is. I don't live your life, but I'm here to add to your journey in a way to help you get to the place you want to be, not the way where I'm telling you you're going to be. And I think too is that it's also learning that, right? It's learning the discernment between what feels right when we are marketing ourselves or putting ourselves out there. It's going into something in a very soul embodied, nervous system regulated, embodied type of way. And it doesn't mean it's smooth sailing, but what it means is that you're honoring the internal, right? You're honoring yourself because you already know. You do already know, but it's just, I think our job and our roles are to help awaken it within you. And so that you have access to that versus us telling you that that one thing that's going to get you to do the thing that's fix you all. So,
well, and then once you hit alignment, you understand what alignment is, right? Like, and I think that's like that again, like you were saying, it's like the hard sell of just being like, I'm trying to get you in an alignment, like because once you're there, you'll feel it, you'll do it, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know how long it's going to take you to get there. You might have 5 steps, they might have 10 steps, don't know. Like, right, it is difficult to do that and to be able to, sell people on it, right? Like we're having to like undo all of that negative stuff about it, but this is how we do it, right? Like we were just talking about, like we've done this work and we've found those gems and we're sharing with you guys like, oh wow, this has worked for us. Our timelines on all the things that we find are always different, but it's always worth it. And once you hit alignment, you feel it, you know it, it's undeniable. And when you're not in an alignment, it is also undeniable once you learn what that feels like too. So yeah. But I love this. I love this for the collective because please do it. We need you to do this. Please, please. I'm begging.
honor what you're here and what the gifts that you bring without needing to
God,
figure you need to be what somebody else says you need to be.
Yes.
You know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So our money card this week, I have permission to do what I love and be a huge success. So that's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, sure is.
So let's talk about the astrology of this week. Y'all, I hate to give you this because last week was fucking hell. It felt like it was a lot. It was a lot of astrology last week between solar eclipses, new moons, the Lunar New Year. What else? Neptune Saturn conjunction on Thursday. Everything. There was more happening, but that's all I can think of on the top of my head. But this week, the morning of the 26th, we will be entering into this Mercury retrograde.
I forgot about that. My God, my system went insane the other day. I had to call the help desk because I was like, what the fuck is going on? I forgot.
Yeah. So I did a massive backup 2 weeks ago of all my stuff. I wiped, I had a computer, I wiped the hard drive, but I had downloaded all my files onto a separate hard. I'm like, I really feel I need to do this right now. I don't know why. But this one, depending on where you're at, depending on where Pisces at, because it's in Pisces. Pisces is Mercury's detriment, meaning it is not good here. It is not good. And then to have a retrograde in it is a little bit messy. But that doesn't mean things are like, oh my God. It's just about knowing what's happening and doing what you can to self-support, find your support, do the best you can. Now, if you go into your chart and see what house Pisces is in based on your rising sign, you will know the energy of what you will be coping with, of what clarity, understanding. It'll give you a clue. Because for us, so Taurus is the 12th. Aries is the 11th, and so Pisces is the 10th house. So for Gemini rising, it's our 10th house. And I don't remember what that is. Do you have it up?
Yeah, I just opened my my thing, and it's about you're not I'm reading it from my astrology app, and I'm gonna try not to laugh through the entire first sentence. You're intended to find work that feels like a calling, something that's sacred to you.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, I'm like, this was written obviously not right now. So, but yeah, you're learning what motivates you. It isn't success or money, but being of service to others and making a genuine difference. It's yeah. So it's all this, this side of you, the side of you that is your ideal public self. It's also how you intended to approach your career. So yeah, it's all about
What we just talked about.
what we just
Well, see, if you needed any affirmation that we do kind of intuitively know what we're talking about, there you go. That's our
yeah. This is what happens though. Like sometimes I open up this app and I'm just like, yeah, I know. Like I was just hoping maybe you were gonna say something else.
I was hoping you would give us this is going to be a really easy one for you because you've done all the work in this area.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
okay.
That cycle ends for you tomorrow, actually, turns out.
Not a chance.
Yeah. That's funny.
I really, and you know what's ironic, Vanessa? What's even okay? So, friends, I forgot to post the Wednesday podcast 2 weeks ago because I was in the process of deleting Facebook and I took myself off of Freud's Angels admin, and which now I'm going down a different path with that. But, anyways, let's not talk about that. And I forgot to post it. And you know what? You know what we talked about for
I
last
don't remember.
Why does work have to be so serious? And
Oh my God. Remember when we were talking before about this was in the pregame about like our little alignment moments when we feel like we're on fire, where we're just like it's the universe being like, dude, look though. I mean, it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. I feel like this podcast or this reading is that right now where it's like, oh yeah, everything's been upside down, but look at that, like how can you deny that you are held when this alignment is so freaking obvious? Like, okay, got it. All right.
like
I'll stay in the fire, I guess, for a little bit longer.
all the messages are right there. So, friends, I hope you go listen to the Wednesday podcast because it's about like our beliefs around work and how it should feel, and that if we're not working hard, for me, it's like if I don't feel like I'm in it and I'm working hard and I'm going extra fast and I'm sacrificing my well-being, then I'm not working hard enough. It's that kind of conversation of, yeah, it's work, but can it be fun? Like, can we make it fun? Can we have fun while we're doing it? So
can it feel like a calling instead of feeling like a job?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love this for us.
I know. So it's everything, the energy is there this week, friends. So if you had now, we all are at the bounds of our mind because our mind has only experienced life and so much. But ask yourself this week, if I could think back to when I was a kid and I could do anything I wanted to do, what would it have been that I wanted to do? Not as a job or who I was going to be, but what was the one thing that I loved doing that doesn't matter if it made you money or not, you would do? And I guarantee a lot of us would be surprised at the answer. And so just consider this week when inspiration, ask, your inner self, what would I want to be if money wasn't a thing?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And I already know my answer. So it's like,
I literally was asked that yesterday and I was like, and I had to work? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I do what I'm doing. Like, I love what I'm doing. I just sometimes blow all my money and need some more.
Yeah.
It's my only problem with my career is that I spend all my money, and that's not a problem with my career.
Yeah.
love what I do. Will
Yeah.
it shift maybe sometimes? And I think that that's, the important thing is that sometimes we know what we want to do and then sometimes it shifts and morphs, but we'll know that too when we stay in tune.
Absolutely. Because when I was growing up, I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to go to school to be a nurse because I have like 3 nurses in my family. Like my great
Exactly.
aunt used to teach it. Like it
Yeah.
is in my blood. And so
I wanted to be a hairdresser and a welder because
it sounds
hairdressers and
that's
welders.
so Vanessa. I'm sorry.
I
It's just
know. I kind of should have done it. It would have put me through school. I wouldn't have student loans, but it's okay.
yeah.
Worked out the way it needed to.
Yep.
Someday, somebody will teach me how to weld. That's just all I care about.
Yep. And while I may not be a nurse for your body, I'm a nurse for your soul. And so that's just
Well,
fine.
You would have hated the system the same way that I hated the system, right? Like it was about healing people and helping people heal. And it was like, well, girl,
Yeah.
you cannot go in that hellscape.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Love it.
And
Alignment.
it's just, yeah. So I'm where I need to be. And so that would be a really good tagline for me. I'm a nurse for your soul.
Love that.
Anyways,
See, look, this is how these things come up.
so we love you. We're wishing you the best retrograde that you can have. And if we find these pockets and moments of just happiness, joy, fun, that's how we get through it. Okay. I'm recipe testing blueberry bagels right now. So like fantastic. Like that is my fun. That has like my joy and it will carry me through today and as long as I eat them. So yeah. So, just find it. But we are here should you need us. And we love you and we will see you next week. Listen to the podcast on Wednesday.
Yeah. Love you. Thanks for listening.
We hope we gave you something to support your journey.
Check out our Facebook or Instagram page to connect with us.
Have a great week.